All right, it is Monday, April 6th, 5:45. We'll call our special meeting to order. I'll start off with the roll, or Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, we'll have a roll call, please.
Hayward,
Yes.
Rickle,
Yes.
Plygett,
Yes.
Collister,
Yes.
Coleman,
Yes.
Haliger,
Yes.
Bennett.
Okay, next we'll have, can I get a motion for the approval of tonight's agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I've got a motion by Coleman, seconded by Alinger. So there's no discussion, take the roll, please.
Rickle,
Yes.
Plygett,
Yes.
Collister,
Yes.
Coleman,
Yes.
Haliger,
Yes.
Hayward.
Yes.
All right, next we move on to public participation. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to address the council on tonight's meeting? All right. That being said, we'll move on to our public hearing. Then it is a public hearing on FY 2026-2027 property tax levy.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you all for coming for this special meeting. I'll try to jar out about 10 minutes of speaking time here, maybe. 2,500 stamps and letters made for this moment with little public input, but at least we have a Finance and Personnel Committee on behalf of the council, on behalf of the residents, that hear tax rates. And just to give a little background regarding the tax rate and some of the budget conversations that happen year to year with the city, we start in November with staff, Missy and I going over budget, department heads, working collaboratively towards a first sort of look at what the budget would look like. At that point, we don't have numbers, valuation numbers from the county. We don't have a tax rate. December is usually our conversation with department heads regarding capital improvement plans, vehicles, equipment, large equipment, streets, all these things that go into next year's fiscal year budget, which would go into effect on July 1st. This is why this early planning is required. The January meeting with the Finance and Personnel Committee is regarding tax rate. At that point, we have our numbers. At that point, we're really starting to tinker with some of the effects of our plans relative to what our value numbers are. And we come to a discussion where we offer a couple options to the Finance and Personnel Committee for a recommendation to the City Council on behalf of the residents. And so, and at that time as well, if there's been any changes in the budgets, we may go over that in the March meeting, February, March. We also have an opportunity to go over any anticipated changes as well. And then Missy ends up getting a little more serious with the department heads and myself about starting to effectuate any possible amendments that might be coming forward. So what you have tonight is a tax rate that is kind of the output of all that community discussion. Usually this time of year is when folks start to get their valuation letters and may, I don't know if confuse is the right word, but put fault in the city. Well, that's not quite us. The value of my home is not determined by the local city council. It's the assessor's office. We do, however, have a scope of control over the number that you see in the paragraph that ends up being $12.84 per thousand assessed. And what that does for us, because of some growth, is an overall levy increase of 8.34%. And as a total property tax base for us, that generates just over $3 million that heads into our general fund. It's used for fire department share purchases. It's used for public works purchases. It assists buying police squads. Anything that you'd put the general fund on, generally this tax rate hits in some way. So this public hearing has to be held. It's state mandated. I didn't come up with this as a grand plan to introduce a tax rate special to you all, but this is a required meeting of the state to allow for public input on this rate. And so I didn't field any calls about this tax rate as a result of any mailings. I'm not sure if any of you did either. The Finance and Personnel Committee reviewed some of the rate ideas that we had for them. 1284 is I would call a minor jump. It was also in anticipation of a dispatch levy agreement with the county. And I can really get into the weeds deeply on that, but I'll spare you. But as expenses continue to build for not only our city, other cities, part of operational constraints on cities are how to afford public safety services. And lucky city of Maquoketa, we run Jackson County's dispatch center as the state-assigned PSAP, public safety answering point. So I don't know the number of counties that are operating an emergency management commission and then affording operating costs through a supplemental levy. But the responsible choice on behalf of the Finance and Personnel Committee and recommending some things, we're thinking about, okay, well, if we're gonna have to increase a little bit anyway to afford some of these things outside of a normal 810 levy, let's take a hit at it now, because next year the rate will probably be around this anyway. So it was a responsible theory. It's one we felt was a decent plan as well, and it's in front of you tonight as the council committee's recommendation. Unfortunately, I have not eaten 10 minutes of your time here to keep going, but I guess I'd take some questions from you or anyone in the audience, as citizens, about the rate, or Chair Collister on behalf of the Finance and Personnel, if you have anything to add. Otherwise, I'd recommend, if no one has anything, maybe take a few seconds to chat about it or chat about the city's strategy overall, and we'll close the public hearing.
Can you bring,
Anyone here who wants to talk about this public hearing?
can you tell us where we're at with this? I mean, what's the details of it from the county? And what will that mean to us, for the people at home?
The county?
County's the one that we have to hit the agreement with, right?
Yes, for the Emergency Management
Emergency
Commission, yes. They're working on an agreement currently. And the ball's in their court to draft it. They have a couple model agreements. The city's attorney regarding this is consulting with the county attorney to create the agreement. I would say every city and Jackson County Board of Supervisors are on the same page with how to accomplish that supplemental levy heading into next budget year.
Okay.
And maintaining the dispatch center as city employees, Mayor.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion by Lyons, seconded by Collister to close the public hearing. There's no discussion, take the roll.
Lyton,
Yes.
Hollister,
Yes.
Holwood,
Yes.
Aliger,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Rickroll.
Yes.
Okay, that passes. We have nothing else. I take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion by Collister, seconded by Coleman. There's no discussion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? We're adjourned.